I have to ask, why? Why do I see people like I woke up this morning and saw that Teslas were put ablaze in one of your dealerships in Vegas? I've seen this happen all over the country. Bullets are being fired. Charging stations are put ablaze. Teslas are being put ablaze. You have experienced assassination, threats of assassination for you and your family. What have you done that warrants this?
Yes, Elon, what have you done that warrants this? What have you done? It's a mystery. Sean Hannity can't figure it out. He's baffled. What have you done, Elon?
Yeah, I mean, it's really come as quite a shock to me that there's this level of really hatred and violence from the left. I always thought the left or the Democrats were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring.
Okay, first off, Pookie Pie, let's get one thing straight. Destruction of property is not violence. One could argue that what you have done, cutting off food aid, medical aid, and water to millions of children around the world, directly resulting in their deaths, that is violence. Also, let's make something really clear here. I know that y'all on the right like to say, what about the tolerant left? Aren't you the tolerant party? Why are you being so mean? That's some bullshit that you made up. We are not a tolerant party. We are intolerant of injustice. We are intolerant of cruelty. We're intolerant of man's inhumanity to man. We are intolerant of exploitation. We are intolerant of billionaires like you profiting directly off of the suffering of the American working class. What kind of empathy am I supposed to be extending to a man who is oppressing me and everybody that I love? What kind of empathy am I expected to extend to a corporation that, like any other corporation, is directly resulting in the oppression of the American working class? What kind of empathy am I supposed to extend to a man who the New York Times and Save the Children have said is directly responsible for the deaths of millions of children? What kind of empathy am I supposed to have for a man who calls me, my family, my friends, my community, the elders in my community, children, disabled folks, veterans, the parasite class? Why am I supposed to extend empathy to you again? And this also brings up something that relates to a topic that I talked about a lot before this election, which is toxic parents and relatives and creating healthy boundaries with them, how you deal with your narcissistic relative. And what you are doing here, Elon, is something that we see frequently from narcissistic relatives, that you are shocked when we stand up for ourselves. You really thought that we were going to be a pushover. In your brain, you were like so smart and controlling and you were manipulating the situation and we were just going to bend over and take it. Right? I mean, Curtis Yarvin said that about us, the American people, that we were too weak and we were just going to lay there and take it. We were going to just let you technocrats roll all over us and we were not going to stand up for ourselves because we were so weak. So I am not surprised that you are surprised that people are standing up for their rights and standing up against their oppressor. This is a classic narcissistic abuse tactic, right? When the victim stands up to their abuser and attempts to get justice or attempts to defend themselves in any way, the abuser says, why are you being so mean? You're so mean to me. I'm just a little guy. You're being a big bully to me. I don't understand. I don't understand why you would treat me like this. It's classic.
Supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring, and yet they're burning down cars, they're firebombing dealerships, they're firing bullets into dealerships, they're just, smashing up Teslas. Tesla is a peaceful company. We've never done anything harmful. I've never done anything harmful. I've only done productive things. So I think we just have a deranged, there's some kind of mental illness thing going on here because this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
and I think there are larger forces at work as well. I mean, I don't know who's funding it and who's coordinating it.
Again, destruction of property is not violence. But the capitalists frame it that way, right? They see the preservation of their property, the protection of their property as more important than the preservation and the protection of your liberty. They will throw your rights under the bus. They will throw your quality of life under the bus to protect their property any day of the week. And they use the police to do that, right? As I have said many, many times, the cops are not your friends. The cops are there to protect the property of the wealthy, of the elites. And they will not put your rights above the property of somebody like Elon Musk. But let's talk about those last two things he said at the end there, that he thinks that whoever is doing this must be deranged and mentally ill. Remember when I said that every accusation from these guys is a confession? I don't know about the state of Elon Musk's mental health, but I'm sure it can't be good right now. I also know that Special K makes you pretty deranged, so. But of course, someone like Elon Musk, all of these super rich folks, they do not understand why we are not content with being oppressed, why they can't just squeeze us and squeeze us and squeeze us until there's nothing left but a dry little husk. They think that we will lie down and take it. So it can't logically compute in their brain like, oh, these people are standing up for themselves. These people are fighting for their lives. They're fighting for their children's future. That just could not register to them at all. And then, of course, at the end there, he has to slip in this, there's greater forces at play, right? Because he knows that the things he does as a billionaire he is those behind the scenes forces. His money does fund nefarious shit like the rise of fascism, like Trump's presidential campaign, right? He knows that that's what he would do. So again, accusation is a confession. And I think it cannot compute for him that what is happening is a grassroots movement of American citizens and also our allies around the world, regular people in Europe and Canada and Australia who are standing up for liberty, for democracy, and against authoritarianism. There's no grand billionaire behind the scenes. There's no deep state that's funding this. It's the people who are pissed off. And Elon Musk, all on his own, has poisoned his own brand. He has poisoned Tesla. He, on his own, elevated Tesla as the image of fascism. He created that problem himself. If he doesn't like the fact that people view Tesla as the emblem, the face, the brand of this regime, the brand of oppression, the brand of authoritarianism as the symbol of the rise of fascism, and therefore a target for the people who want freedom, he should not have done that. He did that all on his own. Well done, son. That is something you did. That's one of your many accomplishments. And again, this Elon Musk saying, I don't hurt people. I don't know if he really believes that. He says he's only done good things. Does he really believe that? I mean, honestly, I don't know if it's something that he thinks if he speaks it, it becomes reality because he's so used to having everybody just make everything happen for him. If he says it, they will make it happen. Or if it's because he's a deluded narcissist, or if it's because he wants us to believe it. Nobody is believing that you've only done good things, Elon. Nobody believes that anymore. We don't believe that you're just a little guy who's a victim in all this and you just want to help people and bring about a better world. No, motherfucker, we have seen your tweets. We have read the things that you have written. We have listened to your interviews. We know that you are a eugenicist. We know that you think every American, every person in the world should basically be enslaved to you and your technocrat bros. We know that you consider us leeches and parasites while you feast off of our tax dollars and our labor and our life hours. We know that you are not a good man. We know that you are one of the cruelest, greediest, most insecure men in the world. That is why this is happening. Because of your choices and the things that you are doing to hundreds of millions of people. Because no amount of money is enough for you, no amount of power is enough for you because you have big daddy issues you haven't worked through. This is happening to your Tesla dealerships because of what you have done. So you can cry about it to Sean Hannity on Fox News. You can keep coping with all your sob stories and trying to gaslight yourself, but you will not gaslight the American people. Because ultimately it is the people who have the power to unmake billionaires. And if we look at the fact that you have lost hundreds of billions of dollars in just a few weeks, we are showing you precisely how we plan to do that.